This is Back to Back.
Yo, what's up, back-to-backers? This is Willy Joy. Welcome to the show. This is Back to Back. This is my podcast. How's everybody out there doing? How you feeling? What is going on? I'm recording this from very hot Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been out here for the last couple days, seeing some friends, recording some episodes of this show that I'm very excited about coming up soon. I had a very silly night last night with a few former guests on this show. Met up with the Adventure Club boys. By the way, the Adventure Club episode of Back to Back, easily in my top 10. I love them so much. Go back and listen to that. We met up with Eptic, former guest of the show Eptic. I was supposed to meet up with former guest of the show Benzie. He and I were going to pop up and do a little surprise back-to-back set at an after party, but he fell asleep, and I never heard from him again, so shout out to Benzie. But it was a fun night, met a lot of young, up-and-coming, maybe future guests of the show as well, super talented people. There's so many artists living in Vegas now. I get it, the cost of living is great, but man, I really had no idea. A lot of people have been moving out here. But you're not going to catch me doing that. I'm sorry. It's just too hot. It's too miserable. Vegas, people were not meant to live here. It's a man-made monstrosity. We're in the middle of the desert, and that's just how I feel about it. I'm flying home tomorrow, but I wanted to quickly talk to you guys. This is a great episode. I've got Swizzymack on the show, the young Philly club king, an old friend of mine. I met up with him in Philly a couple weeks ago. We had a great talk. He just put out a new remix for Silk City. That's Diplo and Mark Ronson's project. The song is Electricity. The Swizzymack remix is out right now. You can grab that off Diplo's SoundCloud page, or, it's floating around the internet anywhere you like to get your music. And you need to be on the lookout for Swizzymack's new Stay Happy brand. It's an artist collective. It's a party that he throws in Philadelphia, and it's going to be the name of some projects he's got coming up, and we're going to talk more about that in the conversation. Swizzymack's just the best, man. Love that guy. And while I'm talking about things that I love, we are brought to you today by Serato. Serato is consistently one of the best software companies making products for DJs and producers, and they just released a brand new piece of software that every producer listening needs to go check out. Serato Studio is out right now. This is brand new. It's really exciting. I got to play around with the beta of this for a couple months before they dropped it, and I've just been having a great time with it. Serato Studio is a new beat-making software that helps simplify the path to music production. Their goal was to place creativity at the heart of the software so users can spend more time making music and less time hitting technical roadblocks, which if any producer is listening, you already know that feeling. It's the most annoying thing when you have a great idea in your head and there's some little technical thing that's stopping you or slowing you down from getting it out. Serato Studio is great for this. And even if you're a new producer, it's just going to feel really familiar and comfortable when you get in there. If you are one of the more advanced producers out there, there's a lot of fun features you can get into with Serato Studio. You can use the master key change function to transpose your entire song. You can change the key of the whole project with just one click. There's automation and plugin support to customize your sound, and you can use the stem exporting feature to quickly whip up a cool idea in Serato Studio and then take it into your DAW of choice. You can bring your ideas back and forth, which is really, really fun. You got to go check it out. Right now, Serato is offering a free 14-day trial of Serato Studio. So go check it out, serato.com/studio. That's serato.com/studio. All right, I'm going to keep this intro brief because I am sitting in a car right now. I've got a little downtime in between some places I need to be here in Vegas. But man, it is so hot. I'm trying to keep the air conditioning off so it doesn't fuck up the sound recording. But yeah, it's just too hot for me to be doing this. This was a stupid idea. But hey, I just want you guys to know I am out here suffering to get you this premium content. Or to look at it another way, I'm just an idiot shouting in an empty car. But whichever way you feel about it, you can let me know. You can always hit me up. backtobackpod@gmail.com is my email address. Or you can hit me up at WillyJoy or at backtobackpod on all social media. I love seeing everybody posting up that they're listening, that they're enjoying the show. Make sure to keep tagging me in your stories, putting up those tweets. Tag me, tag the show. I'm always going to be replying, reposting, and just, interacting and chatting with you. Anytime you put that up there, I love to see that. But let's talk about Swizzymack, my guest today. I met up with him at his friend's warehouse out in Philadelphia. Swizzymack is like an ambassador for Philadelphia, at least in my eyes. I've known him since he was really, really young, back when he was the hot new sound of Philly club. Now, he's still young, but he's been around for so long. You can really tell he's kind of like a statesman of Philly club at this point. He's just one of those guys that every DJ knows. Everybody has a Swizzymack story. And musically, I think he does a really great job of sort of straddling the line between that raw, authentic Philly club sound and the work he does in the pop world, producing for other people. He works a lot with Diplo and really manages to find that sweet spot right in the middle. There's no one else doing it quite like he is. I hadn't seen him for a long time. We had a lot of catching up to do. Such a good hang. So check it out right now. This is me and Swizzymack back to back. Let's go. But no, man, it's good to see you, dude.
No, it's good to see you too, bro.
What, years probably, right?
Yeah, it's definitely been a couple years, bro.
Yeah.
I think last time, was it Echo Stage last time or no?
I know it wasn't Echo. Maybe it was. There was that one time at the 930 Club where me and Diplo went back to back after the Mad Decent block party. But that must have been like...
That was years ago.
That was like 2013, 2014.
Damn.
That was fun. I still remember that night, though.
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely like 18. 18 or 19, bro.
So how old are you now?
I'm 24 now.
Okay.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm an adult.
Yeah. I don't know, man. 24, that's still young, man. But it's funny. I do feel like you've gotten this like you're still 24 is young, but I feel like you have this like status of like you're like an OG in Philly now, kind of, right?
Yeah. So, yeah.
In a way, like,
it's not,
you've been doing this since you were what, 15, 16?
Yeah, pretty much. And it's like, along those old head DJs or OG DJs, I'm not old head. So.
Right.
Yeah. But like in that tier, like I'm kind of up there too.
Philly to me, like I want to talk to you a bunch about Philly because as we just learned, I don't even know what real estate costs in Philly. Yeah. But I always feel like anytime I come here to play a show, like I've had great shows in Philly, I've had good times in Philly, but I never... Like, I don't know the character of this city as well as I know a lot of other cities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm curious from your perspective, like, I'm sure it's changed a lot in the last...
Yeah, it has. I was actually going to say that. Like, Philly's changed so much from when I was, like, a kid. Because Philly was, like, to me, like, the Wild Wild West when I was a kid. Yeah. It was really reckless.
Were you born here?
Yeah, I was born here.
Yeah.
So, like, it was, like, kind of an anything goes city. Yeah, as long as you get in where you fit in, you good, but... It was a wild time. Now it's more like tame,
Yeah.
So it's a lot cooler than it was,
What part did you grow up in?
Damn, I grew up all around Philly. Like I grew up in North Philly, then like I was born in North Philly, and then I moved to like Roxborough, then to Alany, then West Oak Lane.
I don't even know.
Yeah, there's like all different parts of Philly. People in Philly don't know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Philly. I see y'all.
So you're bouncing around a little bit. what was the experience like as a kid? Like, was moving around that much hard? Like, were you like, what kind of a kid were you? I guess what I'm trying to ask.
I was a badass kid. Yeah. I was not what it was. Yeah, I was a bad kid, but moving around Philly so much also gave me a lot of friends in different parts of the city, which was cool. You know, I got to meet a lot of people from like Shawmont, like Roxborough, which is like more like a suburbs area.
Yeah.
So like I got to experience different things, you know, instead of just being like in North Philly, where it's kind of like, you know, just North Philly.
Well, my impression of North Philly is like that's pretty rough.
It's the hood, bro.
Yeah.
It's like North Philly is kind of crazy. You know, it's like from dangerous to safest is like Southwest at the bottom, and then like Roxborough is at the top.
Okay, I got you. Well, and Philly seems like even like just driving here where we are right now, like it changes so much block to block.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't believe.
It's really because like, so this company Temple, right, they have like a big college around here.
Yeah.
Temple has a hospital too, and they like bought this property in the middle of North Philadelphia, and they're basically connecting that place to City Hall. So everything in between is pretty much getting, you know, turned into new businesses it's getting gentrified around the area, you know.
How is the music scene and the party scene changed? Like, because you just did a party last night, right?
I did an event at Ubik, the store, clothing store called Ubik with Gianni Lee. He did an art exhibit. And me, Pray for Christian, and DJ Silo did sets there. It was pretty tight.
Because, I'm just curious for you, like, you know, you've been playing shows here, making music here for what, a decade plus now, right? Almost?
10 years? No, like 10 years,
right, or something around there. And so how has the music scene changed here? Because I do feel like, you know, you're talking about you grew up and you kind of were connected to all these different people, these scenes, and that's kind of how I still see you. Like you can kind of bounce around from, you know, the EDM party to the club party to the hood party. You know, how do you think the scene has changed in Philly?
Well, music in Philly definitely changed a lot. Like when I was younger, it was two big sounds in Philly, which is hip hop and club music.
Right.
So like for hip hop, it was like Meek, Reed Dollars, Joey Jihad, like the rappers in Philly, right? And then for club music, it was like DJ RL, DJ D-Wiz, DJ Aki, like DJ Bay was like people that was making party music or what we call like Philly club music now, but like that was like the sound of Philly. But now
did they even call it like Philly club back then?
No, we called it party music. Yeah. It was for all party music. That's what we called it. You know, Baltimore club, it was Baltimore club, and then Jersey club was Jersey club, but Philly called it party music, you know?
Right.
But now, like, nobody really makes party music in Philly no more. You know? Like, Philly used to be, like, the Wu-Tang city. Like, everybody's dancing, but it's not like that no more. You know? Everybody's trying to be a rapper now because it's, like, SoundCloud rappers.
Right. I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's, like, social media now, they're showing you the roadmap of like how you can get rich. Right? I mean, even if it's a fake roadmap.
But that's the whack part about it because everybody's like chasing this fake dream and like copying. And that was like a big thing about Philly before. Like everyone was so original. Like that's how you like come up with a Tierra Whack. That's how you come up with a Lil Uzi. Everyone's not doing the same stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, now everyone's trying to be like Tierra Whack and Uzi, so it's like, dog, what are y'all doing? Like,
yeah, man, you're totally right. I had this one like super brief encounter with Lil Uzi right at the start of his career, and I think about it all the time because he and I were playing this festival, and we ended up sharing a ride to the festival, like from the hotel, and I think it was. I don't know if it was his first show outside of Philly, but it was like one of his first shows outside of Philly. And he was just a kid, and he was not famous at all. Like, you know, he was playing at like 1 p.m. on some side stage, whatever it was. And I just remember, and you could tell even then that he was like a special dude, like, you know, there's just something about him, but he was just like glued to the window in this car, just being like, oh man, look at that. Oh, that's crazy. You know, it's just like, I've never been out of Philly like this. And I think about that, and that to me is like, I associate that with Philadelphia. It's just like, you know, it's such a like insular bubble. And I think you're right that people at least used to be so free here making music, you know?
I hate social media for that factor. Like, me and Uzi went to high school together. We went to Northeast High School together. I think he was like a year above me.
Did you know him at the time?
Yeah, I knew him. He was my homie DJ Keys introduced us, and then we was like, it was cool. But yeah, it's a different vibe. Like, I think the area you grow up in, Philly, just makes you like a different kind of individual, So like,
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, Like, but now I don't know, man. It's like social media. Everyone sees everything, so everyone's just kind of like, damn, I see him doing that. Maybe if I dress like that and like talk like that and rap like that, maybe I'll get the same results, Just like.
Oh, and that's happening everywhere in every scene, man. This show focuses on dance music a lot of the time, and the exact same thing is happening in dance music.
Yeah,
I'm sure you know that
God.
too.
Yeah, man. The sound, man. Like the sound is so like copied. It's like a copy and paste vibe,
Yeah, it's weird, man. And I think people from that scene know you from the Philly club angle, right?
Yeah.
And from, probably from some of the work you've done with Diplo and all that kind of thing. For the people who don't know, I feel like we should just give the 5-minute explainer, between Baltimore club, Jersey club, Philly club. Like, what... You were saying it didn't even used to be called Philly Club, right? So is that just like a label somebody else put on it, or?
Well, I kind of did that because like the thing was, it was a Baltimore club, and then there was a Jersey club, and then people was categorizing Philly club as Jersey club, and it was like, nah, that's not what it is.
Was it chronological? Like, did Baltimore club happen first, and then other stuff came out of it, or was it happening at the same time?
Okay, so when I started making club music, Baltimore club music was already out. Like I was hearing Baltimore club music since I was like a kid, So like, then I heard Slink and J Hood and Natus. They were making Jersey club, but there was already a scene in Philly. Like D Wiz was already popping off, Aki was already popping off. I don't know which one happened first, like if it was Jersey or Philly, but yeah, that was like the order. I think it was Baltimore, then Jersey, then Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were hearing this music as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And that's something else I feel like a lot of people might not understand about club music. Like if you go out and you hear like Jersey club at a rave or something, it's this weird distorted perspective on like what the music actually is, where it comes from, what it was meant for. You know what I mean? Like I think a lot of the cultural aspects get lost.
Yeah, because nobody explains the culture right. And everyone who did partake in the culture didn't try to explain it. Like you have like Marshmello, you have like who else? Like Lido, like Trippy Turtle. Yeah, so they was like making club music. I think Lido actually did work with Slink a couple times though.
Did,
so that's tight, but it's like some people didn't like actually like try to show what the culture was about, because this Philly club and Jersey club and Baltimore club goes way deeper than what is like portrayed when you see like.
Well, I mean, talk
rave,
about it a little bit. Like, when you're a kid, you're hearing this music, like set the scene. What's happening, what's going on.
All right, so like the parties that I used to go to when I was a kid, like I would go to like the skating rink, right? So there's a skating rink in Northeast Philly called. Wow, I think it's called Jams now or Rolling Thunder, but its name changed so much, but it's the same idea. So, like, they used to let kids come in. It was called late night. I think it was from like 9 to 12 on Fridays. So, like, everybody, when they get out of school, they're like, oh, I'm going to Jams. And when you go to the Jams, all you hear all night is like party music.
Right.
So like it's just like dudes standing on walls waiting for like girls to dance, and it's like it's kind of like a high school dance, but that's just what it is. Everyone's just going out from 9 to 12 to go hear like party music and dance.
Yeah, and it's like underage kids, right?
Yeah. And then we started going to like to 923, which is called Warehouse on Watts now, and that was like when party music and Philly club culture was like at its peak. Everyone was doing it. It was like a block full of kids, just like a block full of kids just going into this one club just to go like hear music,
Yeah. And a lot of like local celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Like all those DJs you were naming earlier, D Wiz and all them. I mean, in Philly, at a certain point, they were like big names, right?
Yeah, bro. It was, the thing about it was like, it wasn't, there was no like clout in Philly. There was like, oh, he's making poppin' music. Like his music is fire. If you make whack music, like nobody's going to really care about you. But if you're making hot music, then you're popping. So
how were people hearing that music?
MySpace.
Yeah.
Like MySpace for real. So yeah, like MySpace and SoundCloud was basically like the places. I remember going to like the Apple store downtown when I was younger, and just like going on all the computers and just like logging into SoundCloud. Well, not logging in, like pulling up SoundCloud and just having my SoundCloud on all of the computers in the Apple store.
Yeah.
So when you walk in the Apple store, you just see like Swizzymack on all the fucking computers.
That's like the next level. That's the next evolution of like, check out my mixtape.
Yeah. Like you forced to see it when you walk in the Apple store. It's just like perfect marketing, dog.
Oh, I love that. When did you start making music?
Oh, when I was 15. Yeah, when I was 15. Because I was hearing the music so much. I went to one party. It's super funny. I lived in West Oak Lane, like up top of Philly.
Okay.
And it was like DJ RL was throwing a party, and it was inside this church. It was in the basement of a church,
nice.
Right? But it's like you go to these parties and you're not just like dancing. It's not supposed to be in a church, you know?
yeah. You're like, something about this feels wrong. Yeah.
But that was the first time I went to one of those parties, and it was so turned. Like the only reason my mom let me go because it was in a church. I told her it was in a church, so she let me go. But like it was so turned. It was man. But it's so turned. I was like, I gotta start making this music. So
did you like download some software? How did you start off doing it?
I went on YouTube and found out like how to hack Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Can they sue me for that?
Nah.
Whatever.
Statute of limitations.
Yeah, so
or something.
So I got Fruity Loops. I asked around. I was like actually like sampling the samples, like the Philly Club samples from the songs that was already out.
Right.
And then like
cannibalizing.
Yeah,
a little bit,
pretty much. Yeah. And then like I put out a few songs. They wasn't doing nothing. I went to a few parties. I met DJ RL at my aunt's. No, it was DJ Ray. I met DJ Ray at one of my aunts. She has this nonprofit organization.
Okay.
She does like Christmas parties. So we was at a Christmas party and DJ Ray came, and I like gave him one of my USBs, and he listened to the song and was like, I fuck with it. And he was playing it out at the parties, and then I got linked up with this group of people that was making club music in Philly called GIPB, and it kind of went up from there.
Okay.
Know?
Was this like just a collective of DJs and producers?
Yeah. But they were like the ones that was making like the party music that was everywhere in Philly, you know?
Yeah, so you were then you were just in with the scene and everyone's trading music.
Yeah. And then the radio stuff happened when DJ Damage got on the radio, and he like dedicated a certain amount of time, like every night, to play club music.
That's huge.
It's crazy. You know, that's not like a regular thing for a city. Like they dedicate this amount of time just to play this genre of music.
Yeah.
Every single night. So like
it's crazy they even let him do that, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But like if I had the knowledge I have now, like, bro, like those are all streams, you know, that's radio play.
Right.
Yeah, but that's like not something you think of for like when you were a kid. So all these people that's making club music in Philly is like getting played on the radio every single night, you know?
Were you musical as a kid? I mean, obviously you're listening to music, going to parties, all that kind of stuff. But like when you started hacking Fruity Loops there, did you have any like basis of knowledge for what you were doing?
I ain't know nothing about music.
That's interesting, man. So, I mean, those early songs you were making, I mean, it sounds like people picked them up pretty quickly. Do you think, like, how were you learning? You know, like, how did you even know what to do? Was it just all experimentation?
Yeah, it was definitely, it was a lot of experimentation. Definitely YouTube. I learned some stuff from DJ Get 'em. Get 'em definitely taught me some stuff. Shout out to Get 'em.
Get 'em, I forgot about Get 'em. He had hits. Those
Get 'em is still crazy. I think he's rapping now. It's still tight though, but he's still producing. His shit is fire.
Man, yeah, I remember his tunes were crazy. He had all the crazy horns. I remember that.
Yeah, but that's when like I think my sound started to like turn into my sound, because like when I first started making music, I was trying to like copy, or not copy, but like try to follow the same trend like that party was going, and then I was just like, yo, I'm gonna just do some different shit, you know, just make it like 150 BPM and just like go crazy, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're one of the few, and this is maybe like a sad thing to say, but I feel like you're one of the few who sort of managed to cross over into like dance music, into EDM, whatever you want to call it. How did that start happening? Like, when did you become aware of that world?
Well, it was really when Diplo hit me up, for real, because I didn't know anything about EDM. Like, I was just making party music in Philly. I didn't think it was like a thing outside of like Baltimore, Jersey, and Philly.
Yeah.
So,
did you think it was when you started doing it, like, were you just stoked to be involved in the scene, or did you have like a vision of like maybe this could be something bigger?
I don't know. I just wanted to make music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about any of that.
Yeah.
Like, until like I started making money from it. And then I'm like, oh, you can do something.
Right. Oh, all right.
Yeah. So, like, it really wasn't that when I started. It was really just like, I just want to make music for my homies. People dance to it. That's tight.
Yeah. Be part of the community, man. I mean, I think that's usually when people have that story, those are like the people who stick around. You know what I mean? And so how did Diplo get in contact with you? How did he even find you?
I don't know. Maybe I just know Paul Devereaux hit me up the day before Diplo hit me up, and like I didn't even write him back. Like, I saw his message and just didn't write him back. And then Diplo hit me the next day and was just like, "Yo, your music hot." And I like clicked on his page and I was like, "Oh shit, he has some followers. He's cool."
Yeah.
So then he was like,
"He's doing all right."
Yeah, he's doing good for himself. That's what's up. So he was like, we was talking for a little bit. He was like, "Yeah, I'm throwing this event called Mad Decent Block Party. You should pull up." I was like, "All right, but I'll pull up." I was downtown shopping for clothes to go to Mad Decent Block Party. I'm in Urban Outfitters. I walked in and out the store like maybe 3 times. Last time I walk out, he's coming in, and I'm like, "Oh, yo, what's up, man? I started that remix you sent me." He was like, "Oh, you're Swizzy?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh, what's up?" We talked for a little bit, and then like, I met him again at the block party next day, and since then we've just been tight.
Oh, that's cool, man. When was that? Like what? 2011, 2012? Yeah. So did you ever find out like how he even heard your music?
Grapevine? I don't know. It was probably No Breakfast for real.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, Zafu and Joe. Oh, yeah, No Breakfast.
Okay. Who is Noah? For people who might not know, who's Noah Breakfast?
Noah Breakfast is Zafu and Jones from the group Chitty Bang.
Man, Chitty Bang, that's a name I haven't thought about in a while.
Yo, I actually just did some shows with Chitty in Vancouver.
For real?
Yeah, it was pretty tight too. Yeah,
that's great. That's cool. He's still doing shows.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, that's really dope. And you said you were like right off the bat, Diplo asked you to do a remix?
Yeah, so like right off the bat, he sent me the Pick Your Poison song with him and who was on?
Oh man,
was it Dasik?
I'm trying to remember. It might have been Datsik.
Yeah. I think it was Diplo and Dasik.
Yeah, for the listeners, this was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a very, very long time ago. And that was the first remix, and now like he played it at the block party too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, it was crazy. Like I was like, damn, like that happened, and then I go to the block party and you see all these people, and then like he plays a song. I'm like, oh shit.
Was that like an eye-opening moment to go to the block party? Which in those days, especially, those block parties were so wild.
Oh my god, it was so amazing.
Like,
it was such a time in Philly. Yo, I feel like everyone who's moving to Philly now, that's why the scene is so different. Like the nightlife scene in Philly is so different than how it used to be. But it's because it's like no block party. It's no block party. It's no like Soundgarden Hall. RIP
to Soundgarden Hall. Actually, I think that's
bro.
the last time, maybe the last time I saw you was at Soundgarden for some show. Yeah, that spot was great. That felt like a warehouse spot that somehow like managed to go legit, you know?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that was the vibe of like nightlife for a minute. Like it was just like this kind of reckless like vibe, but now it's really just like a lot of hip hop parties.
Yeah.
Like top 40 parties.
I wouldn't even know. I mean, I guess there's like for dance music, there's Nodo, right?
There's Nodo, but that's pretty much everything. Like Electric Factory kind of went back to booking bands,
right?
You know, like. I don't really see that many big shows that you can transfer anymore. So like it really is only Nodo.
Yeah, which is weird. Yeah, that's bizarre, man. It's a weird. I mean, I think it's a weird time for clubs in general. Like you're seeing all across the country a bunch of cool clubs shutting down the last couple of years. Yeah, man. Like the Mid in Chicago shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Beta in Denver.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
Wow.
Beta went away. Foundation in Seattle is gone, but that was because they were dealing mad drugs out of there and like drugging people. It was a bad.
Oh, that's not a good vibe.
No, it was a bad vibe.
That's a bad joint.
Yeah, it's too bad. I just wish like it was such a good space. Like I don't know if you ever played there, but that spot was crazy. But it's just happening a lot, and Output in Brooklyn.
Oh, they got closed?
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's happening all over, man. I don't know. And I think you're right. Like we're seeing the shift. I mean, dance music is maybe going back down a little bit.
It needs to, though.
Oh, it definitely
needs to. It really needs to because it got really inflated. There's so many people just like make it whatever as music, and it just doesn't make sense. Like, everything shouldn't sound like pots and pans scraping together, you know? Like,
yeah, I feel you. I mean, and to be fair to pots and pans music, like I like some of that. Like when people start going in that like crazy or abrasive direction, like I'm into it, but it's just what we were saying earlier. One person does it and then everybody follows this wave.
Yeah. Like everyone stopped what they were doing and was just like, I gotta make rhythm. I was like, all right, that's cool, bro.
Well, I mean, what about for your own music? Like, did you ever feel like, you know, for a minute, right, like mainstream attention was on club music, right? And that was like the hot sound. And then, of course, because the mainstream is fickle, like people start paying attention to something else. Did you ever feel like I should switch up what I'm doing to try to like, not to try to like follow the trend, but you know, just to stay relevant? Like, do you ever feel that pressure?
I like to try to make music just to see what I can do, you know?
Yeah.
So like, if I see something happening, I'll try to make that sound just to like, see if I can do it and then change it, you know? See what, like how far I can take it other than that, like making that same sound, you know? So like, I feel like I feel like once you just have an idea, you should just like do whatever you want with it, you know? Like,
yeah, and not worry about how it's going to be perceived.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how did that work for you, you know, when you started getting out of Philly, right? Like you were working with Diplo, Mad Decent more, spending time in studios and other places, all that sort of thing. How did it evolve for you? Like, you know, you go meet Diplo at that block party. Like, what happens after that?
We started working together. We just started sending tracks back and forth, you know? That's really just how it went. Like, I went to his house a couple of times, and like, it's kind of like a work rotation, and his house is kind of crazy. Like,
oh, man,
his
house is ridiculous.
Yeah, you just like go downstairs, work, come upstairs, chill, talk for a second, go back downstairs, work, and somebody comes in the studio, you work with them. Somebody else comes in the studio, you interchange, you come back, it's a song, and it's like, oh, yo, look at this is tight, you know?
Did you like working that way after kind of just being on your own for a while, and all of a sudden you're in this like collaborative, like people coming in and out environment?
Yeah, because like, I don't know, when I work by myself, it's cool, but having other things to work off of, because I like taking stems from songs and just like flipping it and changing it into a different direction. Like I like hearing beats and being like, oh, I will flip it this way, and then like making that edit, and it's like a whole different beat from that one. So now we got two beats out of that one song. You know,
that's interesting. So it's almost like you're remixing the idea like before it's even a song.
Yeah, man, I do that so many times. Like if I have a project, you'll see, like, if you open up my Fruit Loops, like, and went to the files, it'll be like Jumpman 1 and then Jumpman 6. And just like 7 different versions of the same song. It's just like, you know, like that. I feel like that's a good way to like actually come up with different ideas and just like have a bunch of different ideas on deck, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. And did you start like playing more shows around that time too, touring a little bit?
Yeah, I was definitely touring a lot then too, but I wasn't making as much music when I was touring. Like when I was touring, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna just tour.
Yeah, you weren't like writing on the road.
Nah, yeah, I wasn't doing none of that. I wasn't doing none of that. Yeah. But when I'm home, I work all the time. Like I just sit home and make beats. I split my time like maybe 20-80. 30-70, like 30% Xbox and 70% like making music, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta take a break every once in a while.
Hell yeah, man. Like that's a thing too, bro. Like I have my Xbox when I work on music all the time. Cause like I'll work on a beat and you know when you get stuck like at a part where you're like, oh, I don't know what to do here, I'll just like go play skate or like play some video game for a second and just leave the beat on, and while it's in the background, I'm like, oh, you know what? I could probably do this there.
That's really interesting, actually, to like just leave it on, but then occupy your brain with something else.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
Yeah, because it makes you think. Like it puts it in the background. Then when you hear it, you're like doing stuff and like you're thinking what you can do to the beat. Like why are you not even thinking about it? You're like, oh, this is tight. Yeah.
It's like, because I think so much of our creative process, so much of like what makes our sound is all subconscious, right? Like it's all happening. It's not like we're deciding that like this is my sound. You know, it's like it's kind of we just make what we like. And I like that idea because you can kind of just like distract the active part of your brain, and then the rest of your brain like fixes the song in the background.
Thanks,
That's kind of dope. I have a problem with video games. It's like I wouldn't be able to stop playing once I started.
Oh, yeah. But it's you got to win. If you win, you like, all right, I won. I already got it out of my system. I don't need to.
I just need to play different games then because I usually play those like open world games where there's no winning. You're just running around.
Oh, man. Yeah, I like games like that. I play Destiny. Destiny's pretty tight.
Destiny's good.
Destiny's one of those games. But that shit is like time consuming. I'm like, what am I doing at this point? I'm like, no, 500, dog. What am I doing?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
What about? I'm not trying to live in this game right now.
No, and that's what I do. It's a problem for me, man. Yeah, I have to like get up, take a walk, like go outside, do something. Yeah, I love hearing about other people's like creative processes though, because everybody gets stuck, right? Like I think there's this perception of a successful producer that just like they can sit down and make a hit every day.
Nah,
you know?
Yo, I've sat in the studio with people like dope people, and they sit down at a computer and make some trash, dog. Yeah, everyone has their day, you know. It's cool, but you gotta. That's when you know you gotta take a break for a second. You just gotta like go play some video games.
Yeah,
you know, smoke a joint, chill, relax.
Right. How did you like touring when you started getting on the road? Because you were still pretty young when you started touring, right?
Yeah, I was still getting turned away from clubs when I got booked.
Yeah, you're still underage,
yeah,
right?
Man. It was crazy. It was a time. I was wild, though. I was doing a bunch of regular stuff. And you know what? That was another crazy thing is my managers at the time just let me do like anything, right? So
they were not looking
out for me, man. They was like, oh, you got a show in Chicago, then LA, then Miami. All right, see you. And they wouldn't go. They were like, all right, cool. I'm just going to pick up my bread. I can do whatever I want. But, you know.
Yeah.
But that's what it was, you know. It was fun, but I learned a lot touring like that. You know,
what did you learn?
I learned how to like handle myself at shows. I know what needed to be handled at shows. Like when I show, like I have to go to sound check. Like I have to do this stage. I got to meet the sound guy. Like I got to have like a relationship with him before the show.
Oh man, stuff like that is so important.
Yo, and people don't get that. Like, don't go to a show and think you're like the hot shit, because the sound guy could really have a bad day and fuck your shit up, bro. And it's not an accident, dog. It's like sometimes you just gotta, you know, like actually have a relationship with those people, because it'll like help in the end run.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's all, there's this perception, I think, that's like, oh, I'm the star, I'm the celebrity. You know, you walking in the club, like, everyone's here for me. But it's like, nah, man, like, people work here. Like,
yeah, right.
This is their job.
Yeah, they're here every night, bro.
Yeah, like they see one of you every night.
Yeah. So, I mean,
that's funny. And you were just by yourself, no tour manager, nothing?
Nah, none of that, yeah. I remember I did a Mad Decent boat party underage. It was tight.
Oh man, the boat party.
Boat party was tight.
Wow.
Boat party was amazing.
Wow.
Like,
I mean, that's a very rare thing, because they only did one of those.
They did two.
They did two? Really?
I was on both of them.
Oh shit,
yeah.
Okay. I thought they only did the one because the girl died and then they just stopped after that. But you were on that one where the girl died? I mean, that sounded like...
that was sad, man. She got married the year before in a boat too. But
fuck, man.
Yeah, man. I wish, to be honest, I really want them to do it again, because it was amazing.
I'm sure it was.
I've never been on Holy Ship.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mad Decent Boat Party was just like one of the closest vibes. Some of the people, like, they added me to a Facebook group. I still see them like post a lot. there's still like a community, you know? That's pretty tight because I guess you should be, right? If you all experience something that's so limited to people, you know? It's
people, and I mean, I think the holy ship thing too, like there's that ship fam thing, like, people make their, like really make friends there. And it's like part of their lives. And you're right that doesn't happen so much. It's just like a regular festival. I guess probably just because you're trapped on a boat.
Yeah, you really are trapped on a boat with people. Like you meet your next door neighbor, like, hey, what's up with you, man? You good? You like hang out? It's really nice, man.
Yeah, and there's no like, the celebrities, the big names, whatever. Like there's not really a place to hide, so everybody's just on the same level.
Yeah, like I remember, man, it was crazy. You just walk in the casino, everybody's just down there drunk, just talking shit, spitting. Yo, it was tight, yo. Man,
that's funny, man.
A time.
And where are you at with it now? Like, are you still on the road much? Are you?
Well, to be honest, I stopped touring because I've been like really wanting to make like a solid project, and I've been trying to do that for a minute. Like, put together a really good project that's like Philly Club and the other aspects that I want to push out and like showcase.
Right.
So I mean that the Happy Tape is going to be coming out soon.
Happy Tape?
Yeah, that's the next EP that I'm dropping.
That's cool, man. I guess it's interesting because to come from where you came from and to then go out to LA and work with all kinds of people and on different kinds of projects, different sounds. Do you feel like now you're at a place where you've seen enough from both sides of it that you can kind of combine those influences in a way that's like more authentic to you,
Yeah, definitely. Because like my first idea was definitely to like mix Philly club and rap music.
Yeah.
Like hard hip hop, like that was kind of my explanation. Like the two, like Philly club and Jersey club, like Philly club was more like rap music and Jersey club was more like R&B. Right, because it's like vibey,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Like,
I always thought of Philly club as just being a little harder.
Yeah, so like that was my vibe. So like I'm looking to like still make those hard Philly club songs, like I want to get like original rappers like on Philly club songs, but it's like you gotta find somebody that can do that.
Right, yeah. You gotta find someone else who understands that vision too, right?
Yeah.
Which is hard to do because I'm sure you could, if you get some money together, you could get some rapper to rap on it, but like if they don't understand the vision of it,
it's not gonna sound the way I'm trying to get it to sound.
Yeah, that's interesting. Are you working with like young Philly cats here?
Yeah, man. It's so I have this artist collective, Stay Happy. So like I have a bunch of people that I work with that like been trying to like do the same, working on the same vision, but it's like really hard to find a rapper that can like vibe on that,
I'm sure, yeah. And I'm sure it's hard to find a rapper too who doesn't just want to like make that the hot sound. Right?
Yeah, because to be honest, like that's another thing, because rappers don't want to rap on like Philly club. Like, it's this stigma against like party music in Philly that it's like for young boys, So like they're like, oh, this is for kids. Like now it's like this weird stigma because when the older kids that the kids look up to are saying that it's for kids, the kids don't want to be like kids. They want to act like us. So they're like, oh, we don't want to fucking Wu-Tang. We want to go listen to rap music. So it's that kind of vibe. They want to be SoundCloud rappers.
I mean, so here's a question for you. Like with your roots in Philly club, can Philly club or club music in general, like, can it have a mainstream moment bigger than it has already? And should it? Like, do you want it to have that moment?
Yeah, it should, but it should definitely be represented the right way. Like that Sierra track that just happened, what was it? The Level Up?
Yeah,
So
I forgot about that.
That was like originally a beat and a song made by DJ Telly Tells, and I think it was like a remix of another song, but DJ Telly Tells did like the vocals for it, and then Sierra heard it and made that song. So that's pretty tight. That's like a good level. That's like the next level up for like Jersey club music, right? So like Kanye West had "I'm the Shit" with DJ Class. That was like a big Baltimore club moment, So
yeah,
like,
that was a huge song.
Whatever is the next vibe for like Philly club music, because that needs to happen, at some point.
Yeah. I like that because it's not so much that like Philly club music needs to be mainstream, but it's like the culture can kind of influence mainstream culture.
Yeah,
you know what I
definitely.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I think about like Moombahton or something like that. And to me, the same thing happened there where it was a hot sound for a second. So, of course, everybody jumped on it. But then it didn't end up going mainstream, but the rhythm of it and the vibe of it, that was like every pop song for a year.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And yeah, it'd be fun, man, because I feel like pop music needs some of that energy too right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a bunch of great pop music being made, but I would love to hear some more just up-tempo, like dancey kind of shit. Yeah. And that's another thing we should probably talk about, right? Is that club music is like, there's dances, right?
Yeah,
like
there's dances, yeah.
Like it's based off of dances, which is
but
like...
you don't see kids Wu-Tanging no more. All right, so when I was growing up, it was called Wu-Tanging, and then it just went to Tanging.
Okay.
And that's like, it's like a bunch of arm motions, you know?
Yeah,
so like,
it's super fast.
Yeah. But it's super energetic. Like when you see people like tanging, it's hard, you know?
Oh, dude, it's hard to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like this is like, I'm about to shoulder shrug or something. Like this is like, you got to dance, you know?
Yeah. No, it's like a performance, you know?
Yeah, for real. And that was the thing. Like when I was growing up, it was like groups of people, like, it was just like different groups of people who had like a DJ and a couple people that danced and a couple people who just was in a group, you know?
Yeah.
But that's just what it was, you know?
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, I remember like coming up in Chicago and, you know, Chicago's like juke and footwork and all that, which is, you know, it's the similar thing, just a different sound and all of that. I mean, doing footwork dances, that shit is so hard. It takes so much work.
That's what's missing from like rave culture, you know, like actually having those kind of like cultural aspects, you know, like you go to a rave and it's like, oh yeah, it's turned up. And it's like when you go to like the cities where the music comes from, you go to your parties and you just like see people in a circle dancing, like you're like, oh, what? This is not the same.
Right. Yeah, it's true, man. And it's one of those things I think about all the time and I never have the right answer for it because, you know, of course, anytime something becomes mainstream, like people are going to take it and gentrify it and water it down and all that kind of stuff, which I don't like, but I think is sort of unavoidable for something to get to like a huge pop level. But then the question is, from the artist side, like for us up on a stage, like how do you try to shed light on the actual culture? How do you try to represent, you know, where this music came from? Because like
it's kind of easy, to be honest. Like incorporate the artist that you got the inspiration from, and like.
But does that just mean like play their music?
No, yeah, play their music. I mean, you have Instagram story when they put stuff on their story, share it. You know, like stuff like that. Maybe a repost on SoundCloud if that's what you want to do. Like it's whatever it is. It's the small things. It's not like they want you to collab with them. Like it's just like it's just like
I like what you're saying is kind of just pay attention to the community of it. Yeah. Because I think that's maybe, now that we're talking, like I'm realizing that's maybe what gets lost a lot with like the biggest of the big name DJs. They're just like, they're their own thing and people follow this one thing and they're not really trying to sort of shed any light on the whole culture of it, the whole world of it. Which is, and I'm not trying to like talk shit about anyone.
It's not talking shit because it's just awareness. You know, it's just like, yo, if you see something bubbling in a culture, you shouldn't just like be like, oh, I can make something out of that and be like, oh, I'm out. You know, I'm just going to take this idea and run with it. You should be like, oh, I can see this becoming something, so I want to be a part of this. You know, all right, so I'm gonna put this song out, and then when you build the community, they're not only like making more for yourself, you're like making more for the community. Like you gain off of that too. Cause like if you have more people paying attention to this one genre, right? Yeah. Now everyone else is making money in the genre, but you're also at the top of the genre. So more people are paying attention to you. So you're also getting more money.
Yeah, true, man. There's I think 4B is one of those dudes who's, I don't know if you know that dude. But
like, I know Bobby.
Yeah. He's
Bobby's
like,
the guy.
Yeah, no, he's dope, man. And I don't really know him personally, but watching him do it, I was like, he's kind of got a better head on his shoulders than a lot of other people who blew up with club music. Because he's like, he'll throw shows and bring out, Natus and Slink and all that.
Yeah,
and,
that's tight.
And Unique and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to 4B, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, man. Shout out 4B, if you're listening, you got to come on this show, man. What was I going to say? Oh, here's a question for you. Kind of related to what we were just talking about is, so I think like club music, another part of it that is sort of integral to like the fabric of what it is that so much of it is based on like remixing, chopping up like existing, like sampling, basically, right? You were talking about how that was part of your process, like chopping up these ideas, flipping them into something else.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering now that, so first it was MySpace, right? And then it was SoundCloud. But now SoundCloud's kind of fading a little bit.
Yeah,
and
SoundCloud dropped the ball.
Yeah. SoundCloud's kind of done. And people get mad at me when I say that, but I'm sorry, it's kind of true.
Yeah, it is done.
Yeah, it's pretty done. And, so there's Spotify, right? There's Apple Music, there's whatever you want, but it's the streaming services where you can't really just throw up a remix that you made in your bedroom, right?
Yeah. So where is the place for that?
Well, that's my question, especially for something like club music where like the heart of it is based on sampling and flipping ideas and all that. And all of a sudden you can't really post, like an unauthorized remix anymore.
Yeah, bro, that's to be honest, that was like a big thing. When I was younger, my SoundCloud got deleted, and I never got it back.
Really?
Yeah, and I had millions of plays, bro.
Oh, man.
I had millions of plays. Like some of my songs just like had like 1 million plays. So it was kind of crazy, So it's just like at that time when they took it down, I'm like, damn, so what I can't upload my music here?
Right,
like this is my music. Damn, like what am I supposed to do? Like so
like from being in Philly and kind of being, you say you had an artist collective, all that, like how are people getting their music out here now?
That's the thing. It's not really a lot of people making Philly club anymore, so it's not the same vibe.
Fair enough.
So like,
has it gotten a lot smaller from what it used to be?
It's definitely got a lot smaller, but now it's turning around. A lot of people are remembering like the songs they grew up to. Like a lot of people just like put it in a shoebox and hit it in their memory. It's just forgot all about it. So now that people are like remembering "Give Me a Wally" and like the D-Wiz songs and like the stuff that they grew up on, they're like, oh, this is tight. Like this, I like this.
Right.
People should know about this. It's a thing. So I feel like a lot of kids now are like hearing it because I've seen a couple parties. This dude DJ Breezy throws a party somewhere in Philly. And it's just like a bunch of kids that go there. It seems like the parties I went to when I was younger. So
like the youth are coming back a little bit.
Yeah, so that's pretty tight. I know it's something in Jersey called Link Up Tuesdays, and somebody like
someone was telling me about that.
Yo, it's crazy. I think they tagged me in a post yesterday. It was pretty tight.
And that's like what, just another like young kid like wild out party.
Yeah, but that's tight. It needs that kind of culture needs to come back. Maybe not the flash mobs in Philly, but that culture needs to come back.
Yeah, I feel that. But I guess I don't know. I don't know where, like I think for producers in general, young producers, it's hard for everybody. But I think, there's places like Discord or Reddit where they can like find those communities. But something more sample based, it's really tough because there's just nowhere to even post the music.
Beatcamp? Is it Beatcamp is a website? Right?
I don't even know.
I think Beatcamp is a thing. I think I have a Beatcamp.
Okay.
But like, I know they don't take music down. So maybe that'll be the next place.
What about like TikTok and all them? Can you post like unauthorized stuff there?
I don't know. I think everyone's so like getting attacked from all the labels that they just like conform to not do that.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's actually maybe an interesting question. Has that changed the sound of Philly club, like modern Philly club, because it's harder to get away with sampling?
It is, because now a lot of people are making more original music, which is tight. But it's like missing that aspect, A lot of people want to hear their Philly Club remix of that new song that comes out, it's kind of whack that you can't do that. But it's also the labels too, because when I was younger, they used to put out a song like the single, and it'll have the single, the radio edit, the instrumental, and the acapella, and they put that out as the single.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore.
I know.
You don't never get the acapella of the songs, or if you do, it's like a DIY acapella, you know?
You know what you can do now, though? There's this new, I was just talking to somebody about this. You know Isotope, the company that makes plugins?
Yeah.
So they have these suite of plugins called RX, and they just put out a new version of it that you can just yank the acapella out of a full song.
Oh, shit. And it
it's
sounds
like,
good?
It sounds good. It's not like the DIY, like phased,
Yeah,
weird
you know how that
acapella.
sounds. It sounds so weird.
It
Like
sounds-
you heard it through like Boost mobile phone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's so weird.
yeah. But dude, it's crazy. Like it's the next wave. Like I'm waiting for people to find out about this and start making a bunch of remixes again. Because you can really like it sounds like a studio acapella. It's crazy.
Damn, I'm interested.
Yeah, I'll send it to you afterwards. I mean, it's interesting, like talking about remixes. I know you just did the remix for Silk City, like a few months back, right?
Yeah.
For Electricity, and that was I love that remix, and that was refreshing to me because I felt like not only is this like a Philly club remix of a hit, a Grammy award-winning song that people are going to hear and it's dope, but it felt like an evolution of your sound a little bit too.
Yeah.
Like it was like a little more. I don't want to say laid back, but it was just more like
Melodic,
maybe.
Yeah, but that's kind of what I was saying about like not making the remixes. From not making remixes so long, I like started making like original music, but it's like melodic. I was working with this dude named Joji. He changed his name to Ruffin now, but he's like. When we was working together, we would just come up with these crazy melodies, and like I started incorporating that into Philly club music. And like I just did a song with Esther Dean, and she just the vocals on that song are so crazy, and it's like it's really melodic. It's really melodic, but it's like 140 BPM, so it's a lot slower than my usual sound too.
Right.
But it's like it's a vibey song, you know.
But yeah, man, to me, like maybe that's the next wave, you know. Not that you have to stick to any one thing, but it felt like just fresh to me. Like I hadn't heard something like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of like a couple songs on the EP sound like that. So yeah, it's nice, man.
That's dope, man. And I'm curious too, like how do you see yourself, like where do you see yourself fitting into all of this? Because I think anybody who knows you, like I think of you as like a Philly cat, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, you're in LA all the time, you're working with different people in different
to
studios.
be honest, it's gonna come with the festival because like when I get on those festival lineups, that's gonna really fuel like what I'm trying to do is stay happy and everything. Because it's more like a brand push, you know. Like I have my music, but it's all connected to stay happy. And like my whole point of doing this is just trying to like show people like you can do whatever you want and just be happy, you know. Like just be like content with your life, but still like strive for like better, you know.
Right.
Just like. That's what I'm trying. Like whatever's going on in your life, like you can get through it and like still come out on the other end and still make something out of yourself. You know.
I like that, man. That's beautiful. Because that's such a grounded perspective that you don't get a lot of, especially in the EDM world where it's just all like superstar. Like I gotta be,
To be honest, bro, like I feel like. The people that hear my music, that like my music, like they like connect with me, you know, and that's the stuff that I appreciate, you know.
Yeah.
So
well,
like,
and your personality, I think, is in all of your music, and I think your personality too. Like you're one of those people everybody likes to be around, you know. Like,
I like to be around everybody.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's authentic that way. Yeah. And I do feel like even on social, like you're great on social media, like just. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know how you have time to be on social media as much as you are, but
yo, man, I don't know. I fit it all in, yo. I'll be like doing like 3 different things at the same time, you know.
I mean, there was a period in time. I have to be honest with you. This was years ago, but I had to like mute you on Twitter for a minute because it was just so much. It was my whole feed.
Oh man, I had to chill off Twitter, man. Twitter is crazy, bro. Like, anytime if somebody could pull up tweets from like 10 years ago and you get canceled, I'm like, dog, I gotta chill.
Well, you might have had some problematic.
Yeah, I think no, bro. No, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not talking about it. But regardless, like I think 5 years ago, I deleted all my tweets. All my tweets was gone. Like,
no, that's smart, man.
Yeah, fuck all that.
And I wasn't trying to say that you were talking wild. But just like I think it's smart for all of us to be aware of like the trail.
No,
we
delete
leave on
your
the
tweets,
internet.
dog. Hey, nobody cares what you said 10 years ago, bro. It's gone. Nobody's scrolling back that far. If you said that you said it. It don't matter, dog. I'm not. It's like, to be honest, bro. Like the Twitter 5 years ago, or like even comedy, like it was a little bit more riskier than what it is now. Like people would say some riskier shit. Not saying that they was right for it, but it was just like I feel like a lot of people like were less sensitive as of now. Like a lot of people like just if anything, like they might even not know the full context of what's going on and just attack it, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I guess my question is though, like I guess I'm on the fence about it, because to me it's like, is being more sensitive to like what might offend people, is that a bad thing?
No, it's not. No, it's not, because you shouldn't be saying shit to offend people, but yeah, that point blank, you shouldn't be saying shit to offend people. So like, it's good to be encouraged, but it's like sometimes if you don't know the context of something, like you shouldn't just jump down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely been cases where somebody will say something ignorant and they'll get jumped on for it without like trying to explain
or not. It's
why
not
what
even
they
that.
said
Or
was
they
wrong.
say something and then somebody take it out of context and they be like, "Oh, that's not what I was saying at all."
Right.
Like you're taking what I'm. Yeah. So it's like, all right. Then it's like, all right. You got people hating you. Don't even know what the situation is.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah, it's interesting, man. I mean, for me, and so I have a weird thing with social media where, and I don't. This is just my personality. Like I barely post anything because I'll like draft something and then just delete it.
Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Like I do that
I'll tweet something and delete it. Like even if it gets retweets or like it popped off, I'm like, all right,
yeah. Well, and for me, it's not even because I think somebody's gonna be mad at it. It's just like, I don't know why anyone would care.
Nah, I'll tweet something and then 3 minutes later, like I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah.
No, that's the old me.
I don't know, man. I mean, but you're still pretty active on social media in general.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like, and I'm a little older than you, so I feel like we approach it differently. For you, like, does social media, in context of like music and your career and all that, like, do you feel like it helps you? Do you feel like it stresses you out? Because I feel like it can give you sort of like a distorted perspective.
Hell yeah, it definitely can stress you out. But then some people were like really good at social media, and then some people are like bad at social media. I'm kind of whatever. Like I don't care what I post. I just post whatever because I don't care.
I think that's why you're good at it, though.
Yeah, but then it's like if you focus on it, like Beach Links, Beach is like really good at like making story content. So like when you go to the story, like you'll see his first story, then his second story, and they're all like connected, and it makes you want to like keep scrolling through his story.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that makes you like, you're good at social media. I can't put that much focus into it. I don't really care. I'm just like, whatever, dog. I'm gonna just post this picture of this cat. This cat. It's cool.
Well, that's really good, because that makes me think of what you were saying earlier about when you would play video games to like distract you. Like it's almost like a subconscious thing. It's just like a window into your brain.
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't have like a goal by posting it.
Nah, yeah.
Which is, I think, probably what attracts people to it, right? Because that is just like, I'm just hanging out with this person.
Yeah, but that's another thing about like even getting to this like social platform, just being able to like connect with people, just like without actually knowing them, because they feel like they have a connection with you just because they're like seeing your story, seeing what you're doing throughout your day.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's really weird, to be honest, but it's whatever. Like it's just.
It is weird. Even doing this podcast, I'll get that where like you meet people and they feel like they know you, and I'm like, man, I never met you. Like,
man, exactly.
But then it's weird because in a way they do kind of know me and they do kind of know you.
Yeah,
like at least an aspect of
people,
you, right?
The people that have been here for the last 10 years definitely know, because it's like you've known me for this long, you know? Like you've seen me grow like until like me being a 24-year-old person.
Yeah. Are you still wilding out, or do you calm down with
chilling,
like the party?
I'm like, I throw a party in Philly. I throw a monthly in Philly, but like other than that, I'm pretty chill, man. Whenever I go out and do shows, like I'm turned, but I'm a lot less wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Yeah. That's probably the right direction.
Yeah, man. Gotta grow up, man.
What's the monthly party that you do? What's the vibe there?
It's called Stay Happy. I do it with this girl, Maggles. She's a dope DJ. She also does this party, Drake Night in Philly.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know that party, yeah.
Yeah, so like, That's pretty tight. Yeah, like we play all kinds of crazy music. Like I'll play like rap, rock, EDM, and she'll play like Britney Spears, like whatever she wants to. Like it's really just a whatever goes party.
Yeah,
and it's pretty tight just because of that. You know, like the fact that anybody could come into the party because it's just like a safe space for everybody. Everybody can just come in and have whatever kind of vibe they want. Like they get it there.
I love that you're doing that, man, because that's the kind of party that I came up on like 10 years ago. But that kind of party doesn't really exist much anymore.
And now we just booked our first headliner. O'Dallah's just came through from New York. That was tight. And now we're looking to like get bigger headliners.
That's dope, man.
It's gonna be tight.
And you're getting like a decent crowd. People are connecting with the concept.
And we're actually just trying to like, we put a bid in for the city. We're trying to throw a block party this summer. So
that would be crazy.
Yeah,
bring it back, man.
Yeah, man. Philly needs that vibe for real.
Yeah. Because I mean, even with like the mad decent block parties and all that, you know, they turned it into like a nationwide tour for a couple of years there. They were doing like 40, 50 shows a summer. But just financially, I think the bottom kind of fell out of that because you get to that point, you know, and so many millions of dollars are involved.
Yeah.
It can't be about the culture anymore at that point, you know?
It's just like, all right, we got to book these big headliners. But it's cool though, to be honest, like, the thing about it was when you go to Mad Decent Block Party in Philly, it's like you don't want to see a bunch of Philly rappers on that. You want to, you want to go see the big headliners, and it was amazing. It was an amazing time for Philly. People really appreciated it. Like,
I was at one of them. I forget which one, but I was at one of the Philly block parties, kind of in that golden era. And man, I mean,
people don't know because everyone said Philly was the best city for a Mad Decent Block Party. Philly, I think Philly, LA, and New York was the best ones that I went to, but like. Philly was crazy.
It's like a riot, man.
Oh my God.
Nuts.
Philly was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It was a time, man.
I don't even know if we could really do it justice, but man, it's, you know, this outdoor, like on the steps of because for a while they were doing it on the water, right?
Yeah, Festival Pier.
Pier.
I played those. That was crazy, man. And people, I heard a lot of static from people in Philly when they started charging for it. I was like, yo, if y'all don't shut up, man. Like,
don't ruin this.
Come on, man. Just pay the bread. You gonna get in. It's gonna be a fun time. And everyone who came, it was everyone had a great time, man. Every year it was amazing. Even when it rained that one year, it was amazing.
I think that was the year I was there.
Yeah.
People were going crazy in the rain.
It was magical, bro. Like it was like the sunset. It was
Man, you have any other shows like that? Not even like block parties, but just other like crazy shows that stick out in your mind?
Yo, Mysteryland was definitely one of my favorite shows, man. Like
Where is that?
Mysteryland, that's on the grounds of what's that big festival? Woodstock.
Oh, okay.
It's on the grounds of Woodstock. And I did the boat stage or something like that. It was crazy. It was just like this big ass like cruise ship type boat that was like standing on top of, and it was just like,
oh man. Do you have a vision like now, you know, so you've got your collective, you're working on the new record, all of that. Like, how does it look when you bring that back to like those festival stages or even just to tour it in clubs, that kind of thing? Like, I'm curious how you would sort of see it fitting in with like what's going on right now.
Yeah, it definitely fits in. Like the stage that I have set up in my head, like all of it, like it's there, you know?
Okay.
And like the message is there, you know? Like the whole point for what I'm doing is to show people, like, no matter where you come from, no matter what the situation is that you grew up with, you know, like you can grow up and be something, you know, you can do something with your life and like make a positive outlook make people have a positive outlook on life. You know, you can inspire people to do that, you know, and that's my message, you know?
Yeah, I love that, man. That's beautiful. I mean, I'm just excited to see you start rolling it out, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want to...
Stay Happy is going to be tight, man.
Well, this has been great, man. Is there anything we haven't covered that you want to talk about? Anything else you want to get out there people should know about? Anything on your mind?
Yeah, that Alabama and Georgia shit is trash. They need to fix that.
Yeah.
Shout out to women. That's probably that's about it.
No, that's pretty much the only thing we should be talking about.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. I mean, we don't have to go too deep into it because it is just trash and it makes me bummed out. But like the big thing to me is like I think it's part of a bigger strategy, right? Is like they'll pass these laws. Those laws will eventually get struck down, or there'll be a battle in the courts. Basically, the idea is to take it to the Supreme Court and have them overturn it.
Yeah.
In
Just
full,
be like, oh,
you know?
yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Well, right. And, you know, like if they overturn Roe versus Wade, we're all fucked. But I don't know, man. I hope it won't get to that point, but it is disturbing that we're living in a time where that's even like a concern.
Yeah,
you know?
seriously. For real. That's like the state owning people, to be honest. Like,
yeah, and I do want to say too, like, so when these anti-abortion bills were passed in Alabama and Georgia, like, of course, there was a big outcry on Twitter. Like, you know, all of my feeds were like against this, which is great, and I'm glad to see that. But like, for anybody listening who actually feels opposed to that, like, please donate money to the ACLU, donate money to Planned Parenthood. Like it takes more, like getting the word out there is good, but like it takes more than just all of us getting angry on social media.
Seriously. Because it's not everyone just having a conversation. That's just it. It's just a conversation. Like you have to do something after you say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I mean, shout out to anyone who even posted anything. Like
seriously.
I'm happy.
The awareness is important also, but the actions that follow would help too.
I'm going to end this by asking the same question I ask at the end of every episode. Just a simple thing. You don't have to think about it too hard. Just like the first thing that pops into your head. Just a time in your life, and this could be from recently, it could be from when you were a kid, any time, when in a moment, music really deeply affected you. And that could be, you can interpret that however you want. It could be like a song you heard on the radio that gave you goosebumps. Like the first thing you think of.
It's two moments in my life, because it's like one heightened it and one heightened it even more. It's like when I bought my mom out at Mad Decent Block Party, and when I let my grandmom start my set at Mad Decent Block Party.
I love it.
that was a fucking time, bro.
Oh man. So talk about it for a second, because those are beautiful moments. So you're playing what was probably like one of your first like big shows, right?
Yeah.
At the block party, and you brought your mom out.
Yeah.
What was that like? Do you bring her out at the start of it?
No, it was in the middle. It was funny as hell, because like I was playing, I like cut it out. It was this big space. And then I dropped Future, Mama Ain't Raised No Hoe. And I looked at my mom, I was like, Mom, come here. And she came out, and when that bass dropped, we was turned, man. It was amazing.
That's so cool, man. Yeah. And that was probably for her too, like just being able to see you up
10,000 people, man. What?
Man.
Yeah, she was turned, man.
That's so cool.
That was a time. And then like the second year when my grandma, when my grandma started my set, we was literally like, I was about to get on. They had it set up. They brought the CDJs to the middle of the stage. I was about to go out there. Oh no, actually they didn't bring the CDJs out. They was like, had them right next to the ramp. I plugged in my USB, and my grandma was standing right there, and she was like, "Oh, you go kill it." And I looked, and I thought about it for a second. I was like, "Girl, you should start off my set." And she was like, "Oh," and she was like, "Oh, I ain't doing that." And I was like, "Yeah, Grandma, you gonna do it, right?" So I was like, "Grandma, all you gotta do is put the headphones on and press this green button." Walk over there. And
so
press
you
the
weren't
green
even
button.
on stage yet.
No,
Man.
So she walked, when they announced me, she walked on stage. And she started off my set, and she like immediately she was like, "I gotta go, I gotta get out of here." And she just handed me the headphones back, and I just went on. But that was turned, man.
I'm sure like everybody started cheering.
What? It was, I was so happy my grandma got to do that, bro.
Oh man, you seem like a community focused guy and a family focused guy, and like that's just a beautiful moment to hear about, man.
Yeah, man.
Well, shit,
Shout
man.
out to my grandma. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, 100%, man. Shout out to my mom, too, because I know you're listening, Mom.
Yeah, fact. Shout out to his mom.
All right, man. This has been great. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, man.
All right. Peace.
This is fun. Peace.
All right, right, that's the show. Shout out to Swizzymack. So good to see you, man. I hope we can get up again soon. Don't forget, Swizzy's new remix of Silk City Electricity is out right now. There's a link in the description of this episode where you can go check him out. Check all the music, everything he's up to. That is in the description of this episode. Keep an eye peeled for his Stay Happy collective. They're going to be coming out strong in the next year, and he's got a lot more planned. My name is Willy Joy. As always, you can reach out to me. backtobackpod@gmail.com is the email address, or you can hit me up at Willy Joy or at backtobackpod on all social media. That's it for this week. I'm going to sign off so I can finally turn the fucking air conditioning back on in this car before I die. I'm leaving Las Vegas in the morning, back to the real world. Wherever you're at in the world, I hope you're doing good. Take care of yourself. Take care of the people around you, and I will talk to you next week. For Back to Back, this is Willy Joy. Peace.